Good afternoon. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday evening. I'm Eldson, McGhee, your host, and I'm here today doing the same thing we've been doing ever since we started the show. Trying to make sense out of a sensitive situation called the plight of veterans in the USA. In the USA with the plight of veterans. And I'm here with my brothers in arm and in service. Tony, brother, how you doing?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm blessed. Jimmy.
Reverend McGhee, I'm doing real good. Got through the 250th anniversary of the country, and I'm doing well. I'm glad to be here.
But more than that, we got one of our sisters today that's come here to give us some enlightenment and some encouragement and some resources for our better good. Sister Baptiste.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited to be in a room full of all this knowledge and wisdom and just an honor.
Well, I mean, we are blessed to have you, and we do this often with our community, because most of the time people think about veterans, they just think about men.
They do,
and that's unfortunate. And we are so blessed to have you come on and talk about your military experience. Let's tell the audience who you are and what you did in the military.
I will lead by saying that I am from Georgia, and I always tease people, say that I'm Georgia born, Georgia bred, and when I die, I'm gonna be Georgia dead. Yeah. So I am here, and one thing for me is when I joined the military, I joined the family business. My brothers had already joined. My uncles had served in Vietnam. So it was natural for me to pursue that line of family business. And I knew at an early age that that's what I would do. At 17, I joined the Georgia National Guard and was wearing a uniform and doing 1 weekend a month before I even had a high school diploma. So that's to tell you how it was who I was. It had already chosen me, and I just followed the path. Did 20 years in what we lovingly refer to as the only branch of the service, the Air Force. Okay, I'm waiting.
No, Tony, don't worry about me, because you and him is brothers and sisters.
That's it. And I've been retired more years than I served. I've been retired almost 23 years. But in that 23 years, I've become an advocate. Didn't know I was going to become an advocate, because I would be in the political arenas and would constantly be saying, someone needs to speak up for the women veterans. When is someone going to speak up for the veterans? Nobody's not talking about us. And one of my good friends, who has passed now, was Navy. And he said, his name is Barry Mays, and he said, we're waiting on you. And I said, what you talking about? He said, you keep saying it, but you're that somebody. So it's been a lifelong thing that I stepped into that I didn't realize I was stepping into, because, and Reverend McGhee, someone said to me, when God gives you a passion, you'll walk in a room, and what the wrong in the room will bother you if that's your passion. Somebody else can walk in the room and they don't see anything that you see. But when you walk in, because it is your purpose to help right the wrong, it's like a thorn under your flesh. So once I accepted that's what I would be doing, it has put me in places that I would never dream of. But it's all in the name of being able to advocate for veterans. Now, my greatest joy are my two sons, Brian and Xavier, and my one wonderful grandson, Justin. But they all have benefited from being dependents. And their world is not just the United States, because they didn't have to just be here. So I know that me serving will affect the veterans in Georgia and the United States, but my children whole mindset changed because they realize that what we do doesn't just matter, it's everything. So that's me in a nutshell.
Well, let me say this. We joke about the military branches of service, but we're like one hand.
Don't say nothing about any of them.
5 fingers.
That's it.
You know, we're all together.
Yes.
And that's what we established in Piedmont Park on National Vietnam Veterans Day this year, a memorial that honors the 240 young men from Fulton County, Georgia, Atlanta, and all the other cities that was incorporated at that time came off from Fulton County. So Tony and I, became a clone of John Lewis statement. We made good trouble all over until we established a platform to unite veterans across the county. Because we know and we recognize that more than civilian population, that we are more alike than we are unalike.
Oh, yes.
And we have come to this point where we needed to organize us to be in service to our community the way we were being in service to the U.S. military, so that we could make our communities better.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you, it has been a journey, and this show is the voice of Vietnam Veterans of America, not just in Atlanta, but nationwide. We have chapters in every state, over 500 chapters, and in 50 states and 3 territories. So we are outside of the United States as well, because a lot of people don't realize that a lot of veterans, a lot of what they so-called immigrants, got their citizenship through military service.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
we are more sensitive to a lot of the things that we see in our community than a lot of other people. But we took the position that this call to unity is for veterans and our community to work together to get information like you're about to give us now for our disabled population now. Because what you talking about and what you about might have been focused on veterans, but we got other people in our community.
We do.
With the same kind of disability.
Yes. Yes.
And we was able to galvanize the Fulton County government, and this is unprecedented. So we wanted to have them throughout the state of Georgia, all 159 counties, because I'm Georgia born and Georgia bred. When I die, I'll be Georgia dead.
That's
this
sir.
This is my state. This is my home. So we want what's good for Atlanta to be good for everybody in the state.
Yes.
So we got Fulton County to change their programs and services to include veterans.
And rightly so.
So tell us about the farm. I want to hear about it.
So I to tell you about the farm, I have to tell you about my journey to get to the farm.
Okay.
I am what we lovingly refer to as a returning farmer. I grew up farming. I am the 4th generation of sharecroppers. I am the first generation to own the land that I will farm. So
that's powerful.
It's powerful. It's heavy, but when I did it, it not only changed how I felt about owning land, but my veterans, sisters and brothers around me. Again, told you I joined the military at 17, had 20 really good years of service. I was in every facet of the Air Force, from active duty to National Guard to reservists to inactive reserves. So I've got experience on all those levels. And they all have my heart, because being able to do this, I can't just do it for active duty. I've got to go see about the Guard, because the Army has 68 armories in the state of Georgia. There have been over 1 million guardsmen that have deployed since 9/11. But what a lot of people don't talk about is those same guardsmen don't always have the ability to get VA care or VA services.
Ooh, you're talking to my nephew. That keeps
Which is, it's scary.
It's wrong.
It is that. And it's political. So we know that's a fight that we're going to have to take on, because since 9/11, the Guard and the reserves have been used more than they were since they were stood up. So when you are doing those things, it brings in a population that has the same problems as active duty.
Active duties, identical problems.
There is a Guard unit in Georgia that a couple of years ago had 5 people complete suicide within 6 months.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yes. Yeah, I'm curious. Dr. Baptiste. You said that National Guard don't have automatic access to the VA?
No, sir.
Now, what she's saying is not just the National Guard. Let me explain this, and then I'll let her respond to the question. No reservist has that access. Navy, Marine, Army, none of them. Now I can go on. She can tell you the rest of it.
You have to do 180 days consecutively in order to get VA benefits.
Okay, so it has something to do with some consecutive service.
But a lot of them are pulled off duty
before they get the 6 months.
Before they get to that point.
I gotcha.
They will offer mental health services to them. But let's think about it. There is Atlanta, and then there's the rest of Georgia. And how many counties does the VA in Atlanta cover? What is it, about 4 or 5?
Counties?
Yeah.
Counties.
Oh,
and Georgia has
the Metro Atlanta.
159.
Yeah.
I'm now part of Dublin's VA. And I saw one number that said they served 46, and I saw another number that said they served 56. And you gentlemen are from the country, so you know a country mile is completely different from a city mile.
No, I'm from the country. He's from the city. He's a city boy.
He's been out there enough to know that a country mile is completely different.
I guess Marshallville, Georgia ain't the country. I guess Fort Valley ain't the country. Somebody help this boy. Listen. But to get back to this right now, my niece and my nephew was Air Force, right? My niece was active duty. Valerie was active duty. She's retired. But I had a nephew that was reserve. Now, why on active duty reserve? He was diagnosed with diabetes, right? I have been so hard to get this boy to file for disability benefits because of diabetes, because of that culture and the Air Force that told him that he was going to not be eligible for benefits until he finished that service. And, I'm so glad we brought this subject up, because I've been telling his sister to get with him, because his diabetes has grown worse.
And it will. And there's a thing that we talk about trauma. And me and you talked about it before we went live, is that there is the trauma of service. And then there's the trauma of filing for your claim. Yes. And you can only be beaten up by the nose before it really takes effect on you. So you got your family saying, go file, go file, go file. And you deserve it.
And not just telling you to file, they're taking care of you.
Yes.
The family is the foundation of service as far as I'm concerned.
It is. They are.
They make that sacrifice of giving us over to service and being there with us. I can remember my mama came to Fort Benning when I was finishing jump school, and she looked at me. She said, I know, Eldson, I know you didn't call me down here to see you jump out no airplane. But that's the support of the family. That's the caring of our family.
Yes.
And it's so unfair when I tell these guys, those benefits are for the veteran, your family, and your community.
It is.
And we can't get some of these young folks to understand you got to break out of that culture.
And that's, which is why I do what I do. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes you have to lead from the front and you got to be transparent. I'm not 100%. I'm a cable dog that fell 20 feet off of a pole. I have rods and screws in my back, an artificial disc, knees bad, hip bad, and I'm still not, and have been denied for that.
Well, you need to talk to me. You're talking to the guy.
But the trauma of having filed repeatedly
so many times,
and been told no so much until it's a mind shift to be able to go to that. So when I stand in front of women veteran, I tell it. This is what I've been through. Yeah. So do not feel like you're the only, which is like owning the farm.
Well, see, it's the one thing that veterans have to understand. If you don't get with somebody that know what they're doing and stop listening to these people that got an opinion, you will never move forward.
How many people say they know what they're doing and harm veterans and take their money, which is why now there's legislation in place to keep people from doing that to our veterans.
And one of the things that we can say, we just got through training 12 new service agents. And we're having a problem with the VA giving them exams, right? Because you got to be accredited.
Yes.
Now, I'm a BSO. BSOs are different because we don't charge for services. But the claim agent is a new convent at VA because, at one time, a lawyer could only get $10 to help a veteran. They changed that.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. They can get up to 40% of your back pay.
Yes.
So this new convent is a source of income for the veteran that's helping the veteran.
Yes.
So we gonna use our network next week to make sure these brothers and sisters get the exam. So that they can go to work with veterans. Because I'm going to tell you something. Since 1975, I filed claims for veterans and I never lost a case because I worked the case before I filed it. I know what I'm doing.
And that's good.
I take my time and do it, but I need the full cooperation of the veteran to get their evidence, to bring me the evidence. I tell you where it is, but I can't get it because of the privacy laws.
Yes.
But we're gonna talk. We're gonna get that.
But again, it is. We talk about Atlanta, and again, there's Atlanta, and there's everywhere else.
There's everywhere else.
So the access, not that it's not available, it is the access to it.
Access.
And it when I moved and I had been in Atlanta for 40 years, and when I moved to wonderful Candler County. I've got to drive either 30 minutes to Statesboro, which is a CBOC, or if I chose to go to the big VA, it's an hour. And on a farm, that's a 2-hour loss right there.
Yeah. One of the things, Dr. Baptiste, I think this new initiative that the VA is rolling out is going to help a lot of rural people like you or like people outside go to a private doctor and have access to the VA through this new initiative.
It should. In theory, it should. But again,
and in practice, we know
with access. If I'm at the VA for 3 hours and it's taking me 1 to get there, 1 to get back, That's a whole day.
Okay, okay. Now, see that's the trick to it. See, you ain't got to go to the VA. When I'm just call the private doctor out there in Jump Off Creek, Georgia, and say, "Doctor Blow, do you belong?" Let me finish. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. Doctor Blow, do you belong to this new VA program? And if they say yes, call him and let him deal with it. That is how it should work in theory. Now, that's the understanding.
In theory, you are right.
That's
You're
the way
right.
it should work, which is will alleviate trying to find a VA in Jump Off Creek, Georgia, down there.
But just like Reverend McGhee said, when funds are low and debts are high, and you need medical, there's usually a copay.
But that's
With
what this
the
new
VA
program. Well, this new program. This new program is supposed to address a lot of that stuff.
Now, let me go back to what is happening. You know, theoretically, it's a good project. It's a good turn. It's a good turn because I was advocating for operation overhaul of VA, and this was 2014. And I've been working with the VA. You know, and when I'm saying working with the VA, I just this guy claimed finished, and he just came by the house with 100%. You know, he's 100%. So temporary 100%, but you know because we filed on the presumptive list, right? The presumptive list makes it easier to get to the 100%, but they're always temporary because once your cancer goes into remission, they reduce you.
They do.
They reduce you. So what we are trying to do now is educate veterans. You know, to you know, everybody don't know what they're doing at the VA. Lawyers, we got a lot of veteran lawyers. You got a lot of veteran paralegals that understand the regulations and see the regulations when they are doing these changes. You know, and we can let people know that it's not your opinion or what you think should be done. It's the regulations that they got in place.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Well, that's where it's supposed to be. But when you get to these private providers, they're contractors.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't get paid, you don't get a follow-up appointment.
And that's it.
Another thing along those lines is that a lot of veterans don't know when you start talking about reducing and taking away benefits is if you have a condition that's over 20 years old, they cannot reduce it, period. I've been 100% for years, but when I came out of the military in 1967, I was like 80%. I didn't go back to the VA until 2007 when I retired out of IT. All those, I went to the VA and they started looking at all my wounds and stuff like that, and all of them was permanent. They could not touch those things because they were over 20 years. Once you get 20 years on a certain injury, whether that be cancer or whatever it is, they cannot decrease it because it's gotten better, they think. That's just one of the things a lot of veterans don't know.
They don't.
When they deal with the VA.
Basically, when the VA make a ruling, if you are not going to the doctor, period. If you're not going to the doctor and you are not on one of those conditions that they have ruled totally permanent from Jump Street. See, some conditions are made totally permanent, right? By the VA ruling itself.
Yes.
Not just the time frame in it. It's the VA ruling. The regulations. Now, get back to regulations that, like Jimmy's saying, everybody don't know about the regulation, but everybody need to read the rating decision when they get it. Read the rating decision. It tells you exactly what you're under and how to approach it, whether you're going to want to appeal it or not. Most people just see that I got my 100%
and don't read it.
I'm finished with it. And then they don't know that they get special amount of compensation. I get paid more than 100%. You know, because I knew what the regulations required.
And that's key. And it's what matters for us is that it is part of our job to help spread the knowledge. And not only to the veterans,
to their families.
but to their families. Not only to their families, but to the civilian practitioners, the civilian spaces. I was at a summit at Mercer, and because I am one of Georgia's mental health, let me get it right because I always mess it up. One of Georgia's agricultural mental health heroes. I am in the trenches for farmers. But they don't talk about is 20% of farmers have military experience. So we coming in with some other stuff on top of the stresses of farming. And the people who are doing the research and holding the money bags on the civilian side, they look at farmers, and I stand up and say, well, what about veterans? And I get the deer in the headlight look until we start talking about it and what that looks like. And as you said earlier, when people say veteran, they automatically think the gentleman with the baseball cap.
Yeah,
They don't look at women. I taught a class with law enforcement a couple of weeks ago through the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health. And it was to help law enforcement understand what women veteran look like. And a lot of them do not say they're a veteran because of trauma. But there are still catch-all things that they can see that will tell them how they answer, how they stand. Play the national anthem, and that will tell you immediately if that is a woman veteran because of how her body posture changes. But they don't talk about how in the last 10 years, Atlanta has been infiltrated with veterans. McPherson closed. Gillum closed. The 116th, which had a large contingency of active duty airmen, they made us move from Dobbins to Warner Robins. A lot of them didn't go. So now what used to be active duty personnel are now veterans. So we no longer have our culture. We're self-medicating, and we're becoming justice-impacted veterans. But law enforcement don't know what to do with us.
Well, you know, one of the things that we did with the Atlanta police chief that was a Vietnam vet, we got him to start training his officers how to interact with Vietnam, with veterans with mental problems, with mental issues, because they're still killing us.
They still are.
They're still killing us. And one of the things that have not happened is that we have not gotten the community behind that, because they don't understand that why do 16 to 22 young people kill themselves every day in this country is not a national crisis.
Because that number, and this is my humble opinion, was made up for somebody to feel comfortable about. But farmers' suicide completion numbers are higher than veterans. So you don't hear anybody talk about farmers in that respect. Because just like soldiers and airmen, when we retire, a lot of times we're isolated. If you are a solo farmer, you work from sun up to sundown. You may have a family, so you're isolated again. But you've got the stresses that you brought home from serving. Because farmers in my age bracket, which is the general age of a farmer, 55 to 60, have been in the sandbox.
Now, with that, we got a farmer, veteran, running for Congress. I want Georgia veterans to get behind this veteran. You know, he's a Georgia farmer, Georgia veteran, running for Michael Taylor Greene district.
Yes.
And he is the Democratic candidate.
Nominee.
Now, what's
his name?
What we are concerned with right now, what we are concerned with, and we did this a rally on the 4th of July, to start registering people throughout the state within our community. So we're going to be asking every veteran to register, become a register of his or her family members and people in that circle. Because right now, if we don't, the constitutional democracy that we serve for is gone. I mean, because the way they got us separated, they got us thinking that this only affects black people. But I'm moving throughout the state of Georgia with veterans of a different hue, and they're upset. They're upset with the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're upset with the attack on immigrants.
Yes.
But these Democrats, which I'm not a Democrat, I'm a staunch independent. But right now I'm at that Malcolm X moment. We got to vote for the lesser of the two evils. The lesser of the two evils.
And it goes back to education. I know the gentleman you're talking about, but I have no clue what his name is.
Yeah, I think I'm not even sure if he's still running. The guy that the Democrat
Did he lose?
I think he lost. I'm not sure, but I'm
telling
gonna check it right
I'm
now.
I'm telling you right now that he is the Democratic nominee.
Democrat.
I wouldn't say that if I didn't.
What's his name?
If I didn't have his information.
I don't know his name. I know who you're talking about because he wore a white cowboy hat.
One of the problems with that is that these Democrats are using media to get the word out, right? The people that got the money dominate media. You're not gonna get the word out. We got to get these people rallying in the community.
It's got to be grassroots.
It got to be grassroots. So that's what we are asking, and that you take this back to your county and the veterans you need. We're gonna have them learn how to register voters.
Sean Harris.
Yeah, Sean Harris. That's
Sean Harris, retired brigadier general.
So we got to make sure now that we are protecting the Constitution.
It's in the totality. If we protect people, it is going to protect the Constitution.
Protect the Constitution.
And we've got to go back and make sure that our veterans understand that we are here for them, which means making sure that they're educated in their benefits, making sure they know. We were talking about the Mammo Act. You gentlemen know about the Mammo Act?
I don't refresh my memory.
The Mammo Act is an act that literally protects breast cancer survivors. It is supposed to give you the information how to get your mammogram, not for just women, for both men and women. What the follow-up care looks like, where you can go to get it, what's available. But there are still some things missing. Men with prostate cancer, if they've been to the sandbox or Vietnam, it's automatically service connected. Women with breast cancer, it's not. You've got to prove that your breast cancer is not passed down through the genes. So we need to make sure that women know that, their families know that. The average veteran now does 4 years and they're out. Nobody's doing 20 years anymore. What does that mean for the veteran population? Everybody is under 30, which means they're still of the childbearing age. So you're not going to a VA appointment because you don't have child care.
And then there's another issue there. The toxics that these people are being exposed to
is service connected.
It's not being legislated the way that it needs to be legislated. That's why it's so important that we elect people to Congress, especially now. But it's more critical that we go ahead, Tony. You
not just elect people, but educate them.
Yes, we have to.
It's great to have these people in position to do this, but if they aren't educated about what you just said,
right?
Women, breast cancer, the idea of a generation of women, and probably have suffered for years with breast cancer that is related to their service in the military.
Exposure.
Exposure.
But everything.
Probably most of them served those 4 years.
And they were done.
They were done.
And one thing about service, it's lifelong. And a lot of people don't think about it. What we've been exposed to does not go away when the contract ends. At Mercer, at the summit, they did, it was on how to protect maternity, pregnant women during disasters. So we stood up and asked the question, where do veterans fall in? And of course, everything stops then. And they were like, oh, we didn't consider that.
That is a category that was never thought of
Ever.
as being affected by.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is because I'm in those spaces that I constantly say, what about veterans? Excuse me. If you're doing this, then what about veterans? If you're talking mental wellness, then what about veterans? If I'm in front of law enforcement, you can't approach me like you approach regular people.
Right.
Because my training makes me a killer. Whether I've been to combat or not, it is the training that I've had. So until we start educating the civilian sector that we are an elite group of people that deserve different treatment, not special, just different.
Well, we deserve the treatment to address the issues that we incurred as a result of our military service.
service.
That is a sacred contract.
Yes.
Let's keep it.
Yeah. You know, the organization that Fulton County is doing that's handling veterans, they're at least somewhat acknowledging the fact that group of veterans is a special class. And
Well,
they
now,
come up with a
Tony,
program to
Tony.
where,
You did this.
oh,
See, that's what I'm saying. If it hadn't been for us knocking on doors,
Yes.
see, that's the problem that with most veterans, they just step back and whine. You know, and I get tired of whiners and talkers, man. You know, they got to get
But
out and do something
it's
about it.
the shift.
yes,
The only way to do the shift is to be in their face and visible.
that's it.
But you guys are
repeating
in Atlanta.
it. Yeah.
There's Atlanta,
Yeah,
and then there's the rest of Georgia.
Then there's rural
Right.
Georgia.
That's what she's talking about.
See, one of the things that make me proud of that, there's Atlanta and the rest of Georgia, but look at what we're doing now.
We're making a difference, but
And you know what?
I
All
encourage-
down in Montezuma, Perry, Folk Valley, we talking to veterans.
and that's halfway. Now come on across the Mason-Dixon line, because there are even you got
More.
Fort Stewart.
Yes.
Fort Stewart
down-
is huge,
Listen, we down in there with the active duty guys. You know, because
and you got to hit the veterans too,
yeah,
because
we got to hit
Kings
the-
Bay.
We this is the microphone.
That's
This is
a submarine base, is it not?
This
Kings
is the
Bay.
way. We're reaching military veterans throughout the country right now.
Well, and I appreciate you going national, but I'm Georgia bred.
Well,
And we have got to, and I promise you, my brother is a minister in Savannah, and I stay on him. Oh, we've got to go back. We've got to educate. We've got to talk. We've got to make sure that they know and can be educated, but not just the veteran. We got to
Community
make
at
sure their
large.
family
Family.
knows.
The
now see,
community at
this
large.
is something that we have just with Vietnam Veterans of America right now. We got 16 chapters in the state, and unfortunately, we are not joining those chapters in our various communities throughout the state. But you know, because of what we're doing here in Atlanta, we're getting the word out. We're getting the word
Again.
out. And as we get it out, we are incorporating people like you. We didn't know you before today.
I'm here. There is a whole plethora of veterans in rural Georgia that we have the conversations all the time. I went to a Farm Bureau event, Women in Ag. It was 2 veterans there, me and the young lady that I invited to come with me. And we will continue to do things like that because we've got to make a difference. And one of the ways to make a difference is to be in the trenches. Georgia has 93 6,000 women veterans.
We have 700,000 veterans in the state of Georgia, and we got to pull them together.
And
Pull them together.
28 are women. Atlanta has 27 that's registered for the VA, the largest in the nation. But if there are 93 in the state of Georgia and 28 are registered, we've got work to do.
We got work to do. We got work to do. That's the work. That's what we had today. Let me go here for a minute. We next Tuesday, the 21st of July, we are meeting at Charlie Brown, right? Charlie Brown,
Charlie
Brown, Fulton County Veteran Empowerment Commission, and hopefully we will be introducing the manual. What's wrong? We'll be addressing the manual. We'll have the manual out so you'll have access to these benefits in Fulton County. And one of them is home repair, and one of our surviving spouses are already getting it, Tony. She applied for it, and they're working on a house. Free. Repairs. So,
but what if you don't have a house?
Well, that's another part. Now, wait a minute. Hold on.
Well, what if you don't have a house, Brother McGhee?
Okay.
We've got to.
Okay, well, let me show you that. But I was just trying to get people on top of that
Oh, yeah,
resources.
that.
Now, what we don't have in house, we do have a house right now. Take that with you. You know, we're not just talking about the problems. We got solution proposals over everything. That's why we got you here.
I'm down. As my uncle used to say, like 4 flat tires on the Cadillac.
That's why we got you here, and we're so excited that you came. You took this trip up here because you didn't have to do this. Thank you.
That's just like the mighty warriors that's building 48 tiny homes in Milledgeville for military members.
Oh.
Yeah. So we got to connect. We're not connected.
There is that.
We got to connect because we at that was the last meeting at the Fulton County, the Roswell Mayor,
Right.
the new hospital,
Right. Yes.
1,500 beds. You know, so we got to connect.
We
Cross
Right.
across the state,
because
across the county, across the USA.
we have counties in Georgia that don't have a hospital. That don't have a primary care physician. Definitely don't have OBGYN.
Yeah, let's work it. Let's get it. That's
And
it.
we've got to continue educating, being in the trenches, and building relationships with our civilian counterparts. Because we all know when you're dealing with government money, it may take a minute. The civilian sector don't have to wait that long. If they understand the value of who we are, of what we need, and how they can help us, they are on it. The studies that Mercer do, it's about one of them is mental wellness in the rural communities. Well, if 20% of the farmers have military experience, then we're in it. And they are excited to work with us. But we have to bring awareness constantly.
Well, we're here every Saturday trying to do just that. We're about that, and I want to just diverse for a minute. Tony, would you talk about the bricks?
Okay.
It's important that we get that out.
It is important. One of the great things that we have here in the city of Atlanta is a memorial that is built to honor the 240 young men from Atlanta, Fulton County. But it's just not a memorial for those men. It's a memorial for all veterans. If you have a family member that was a veteran that served, here's an opportunity to honor them by purchasing a commemorative brick that wake up the groundwork for that memorial. You know, if you look closely at what you're seeing on the screen, you can see those individual bricks. Here's an opportunity to put your name, your family name, your family member's name on a brick to become a permanent part of this memorial that will be there long after most of us are gone. So here's an opportunity. sonsofatlanta.org, commemorative brick or donation section. Purchase a commemorative brick and become a part of this memorial.
And I want to say this. This is not just the Atlanta. This is these guys' names are on the national wall. We brought them home to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that this is a sacrifice from the community. And we've been using that to, it's a call to unity. You know, not just for Atlanta, Fulton County, not just for the state of Georgia, but for the USA, the whole USA of veterans.
How many of the bricks represent the 688?
Well, I mean, they ain't brought down yet.
The 6888 was, they did their training.
Well, they need to
here
buy a
in
brick.
Georgia.
They need to buy a brick.
I
That's
think
right,
it
that's
might
right.
be 9 of them left. So
Okay.
we'll have to talk about how we can
Get 'em.
honor them here,
Buy a brick.
because it's the
Buy a
only
plaque.
black
Buy
all-female
a plaque.
unit.
Buy a plaque. The Monthly Marine just bought one. The NAACP just bought one. So it's a call to unity. If they want to be honored in Atlanta, buy a plaque. Buy them a plaque.
Now, I'm going to ask you, all three of you gentlemen, this question. How do we bring the younger generation in to be a part of what we're doing, to make them want to be a part?
Now, what
we're doing.
we've been doing, I mean, I do claims, right? I do claims. I train them. I train them to do claims. 6 of the people that I'm talking about waiting on to be certified are young veterans. So, I mean, it's a work. It's we see the issue, but you say, how do we do it? Various ways. Inclusion in the first place, right?
Yes.
Inclusion. So I spent 30 weeks on training these young people. Now we got to make sure the VA certify them so that they can help their other counterparts. Now, most of them are already at 100%, you know, because we taught them how to go about doing that. Now, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we get your information, that we can get some communication.
Yes.
How we going to collaborate,
Yes.
how we going to work together, because the issues that you're talking about are the issues that we're already addressing.
In Atlanta.
No, I said, listen, I sit on Georgia State Council of Vietnam Veterans America. I'm in Macon every 3 months. I'm all over the state. I got kin folks in South Georgia, right, that are veterans. I got them there 100%. So I'm all over the state. And I need more of all over the state. We need more people like you. So it's not just in Atlanta. It's all over the state of Georgia right now where we are working. And then you can look at our magazine. We're all over the country. They got a piece in this month's magazine about the memorial and people on top.
One of the things, just getting back to how do we recruit and interest young people, that the youth of our community is my passion. That I got a foundation, and we I'm dedicated to educating our youth into civic service, community service. That has to start at an early age. When I was coming up in the 50s, I didn't have nowhere to go after high school but service. I didn't have college tuition or access. So the military was always a path for my generation, for our generation. Now kids are, they exposed to all kind of different, opportunities that they, and public services last on their list.
It is.
And we have to educate them to that.
We do.
And to be honest with this guy, I don't want to get into politics, but I'm a little leery about, I used to always say and try to encourage young folks to look at the military, join the military if you don't have any other options in your life. But now I'm a little more hesitant because of the political situation. But yeah, just the civic education and community education in terms of doing community
and they got to
work.
see positive people
Role models.
from the military.
Yeah.
Yes.
When they see us and when they see you gentlemen, when they see me, I am sure that there are women that you guys have encountered that you had no clue that they were military because we don't tell it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I wouldn't be like that, because I'm that guy that's been working for veterans since 1975.
But you're one out of.
I might just be that one, but I just want to say that I infect these other guys.
And that's where we're supposed to
I
be.
infect them, So
It's contagious. Doing good is contagious.
yeah, so we're on it right now. We see the problem. We know we can't address the problem by ourselves.
That's it.
I got a question for you before you go, Dr. Baptiste. I can understand how you got into healthy living coming from a farming environment. The mental wellness part of it, though, how did that come about?
Service.
Okay.
Wearing a uniform, and being a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
Most people think automatically that the VA takes care of veterans. There is no gray area. If you wore the uniform, you're taken care of. Most people don't think about the stresses of farming. In Georgia, in the last 5 years, we've had Helene, we've had flooding, we've had drought. This year we had fires. What are the stresses of that? If you are the steward of your land and you're the only one in control and you've spent everything you had trying to keep it, imagine what that feels like if it's been in your family 100 years and you are going to be the one that lose it.
That is so powerful that you own your own farm. I like that in a lot of ways. Before I go with I get finished with you, what is a holistic health coach? I gotta know.
Holistic is back to nature.
Okay.
It is farming. My farm is organic, and no till, so which means we won't turn over the dirt.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people don't think about global warming and how a lot of it is related to the fact that the trees are disappearing.
Right. Okay,
There is more production and building, so the land doesn't hold the carbon. It doesn't help the atmosphere. The trees don't put the oxygen back. So when you look at all of those things, we didn't have a lot of that with the farmers of old.
Oh, absolutely not.
They tilled,
and fertilized.
but when they planted the corn, they may have planted the peas with it to put stuff back. And everything has changed, but being holistic means that you're looking at your health without outside influences.
Okay. Gotcha.
When you are not eating all the salt and eating healthier, using herbs to enhance what you eat, and not, Lord knows I love Chick-fil-A, but sometimes
It don't love you.
it is, when you got something that has 50 ingredients in one item, those are things to think about.
Yeah.
Okay. Lastly, we're getting to the end. What events you have coming up?
I am participating in an event in Milledgeville, October 11th, and it is a salute to rural heroes. And they are spending the day at the college in Milledgeville, and they are honoring veterans in the rural communities. This month they'll be in Philadelphia, and then in October they'll be here. So I will be making sure that I share the information with you guys so you can come get a table, so they can see the great things that you're doing.
Okay.
Right now, that's it. I am also getting ready to be a part of a cohort that's working on the workforce in rural America.
Okay. That's great.
So it is, you can't tell people how they got to do something if you don't help them figure out how to do it.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Now, what we are looking at is next Thursday, Town Hall, Sounds of Atlanta Vietnam War Memorial Town Hall, which will be honoring Michael Julian Barnes for his help, his leadership, and helping us get the memorial established in Piedmont Park, and going into and Marvin Arrington Jr. for helping us set up a platform throughout Fulton County that has organized veterans in a group that we can provide support and organization of resources to our community. And we are having our Veteran Empowerment Commission meeting on next Tuesday at Charlie Brown Airport. So everybody stay tuned. And if you got some issues with your claims, we're still doing claims. So just give me a call, 770-895-3260. Vietnam Veterans of America doing what they do, not just here in Atlanta, statewide, all over the country, and 3 territories. We're here every Saturday doing the same thing.
Before we go, Dr. Connie Baptiste, thank you for coming to our show.
It has been my honor. We could talk all day about the things and the possibilities, but we're all doers.
Mm-hmm.
So we're boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
And to be able to share the information. And I invite you guys all to come to South Georgia, to Hunter Family Farm, where our motto is curated nothingness. Okay. We've got rocking chairs, and we cook farm to table.
Thank you.
I'm going to take you up on it.
Yeah, definitely take you up on it. Yes.
Definitely,
yeah,
definitely.
We need to branch out.
Serving well, growing well, and living well. Thank you.
No other way to do it.
Okay, next week, same place, same time. Tony, you want to say something else?
No, you got it.
Yeah.
We off it? Where are we? Peace.
Yes.